everyone. I'm Lindsay Stillwell. I'm one of Ashley's oldest friends, and I'm honored to serve as her Maid of Honor today. I just have a few words to say about what today means to me, and I think a lot of other people in this room. For many of us in this room today, and not just Susie, Peter, Ashley, Max, Dan, and Eric, 44 Bel Air Road has always been home. Some of my earliest memories from childhood involve standing knee-deep in the creek, catching minnows in a little net. Growing up, we would spend hours on the dock, in the mud, on the swings, with the sun on our back, and then we would track dirt and sand right through Susie's front yard, over her newly waxed floors in her entryway, and we'd raid her refrigerator in the kitchen. We would take up residence at the small wooden table that used to be in their kitchen, and we would stay there for hours. Over the years, this ritual evolved from a long day at Bel Air Beach, followed by some Crow Point pizza, to maybe some Greek salads and some alcohol we might have stolen from our parents, a collective apology to all of the parents in this room, to a much more civilized glass of white wine on an Adirondack chair, watching the sunset. We've certainly upgraded as we've aged, but in many ways the experience has stayed the same. The door is always open, there's always a seat at the table, and you're always welcome to stay the night if you've overdone it. I know this sounds like an ode to Peter and Susie, and in many ways it is, but inherent in the feeling of home that Susie and Peter have instilled in all of us are the children that they've raised and the family they've created. And I think it goes without saying that Ashley is not just a friend to me, Ashley is family. And I know that to those of us in this room today, Ashley is either literally your family, figuratively your family, or today she became your family. And to that I say, you are so lucky. I know how lucky you are because over the past 30 years or so of friendship with Ashley, I've been able to see what friendship means to Ashley and what family means to Ashley. No one values family more than Ashley. No one's more loyal to the ones they love than Ashley, and no one is more dependable than Ashley. I've seen Ashley love her friends. No one maintains friendships like Ashley. It's no surprise that as I look around this room, there's like half of my graduating class. The very same people we went to swimming lessons with in elementary school, we went to rec dances with in middle school, and we crammed into basement parties with in high school. Ashley honors her friendships, and because of that, they're lifelong. And I've seen Ashley love her family, a huge family. Growing up, everyone that showed up at the door was Uncle someone or Aunt somebody. I just sort of assumed that everyone that came to the door was a relative because everyone was welcomed as if they were, and also because the proximity of relatives' homes to the Goldstein house is really close. I've seen the way that she loves her siblings' children and her sibling-in-law's children with all of her heart. I've seen her love my son and my unborn daughter as if they were her own family because they are her family. Ashley's love for her family knows no bounds. And to Kevin. Ashley has described Kevin as dependable, as someone who always knows what to do, as someone who's aligned with Ashley in his love of family and the way that he too loves being around his nieces and nephew, as someone who understands her and not just her insane work schedule, but who she is, what she values, and what she wants from life. I don't think it's surprising that Ashley, someone who's dedicated her life to caring for some of the country's most vulnerable little people, fell in love with someone who's dedicated to this life to protecting and serving the rest of us. I think that everyone can agree that finding someone who understands and compliments you in such a way is an invaluable gift. I've been lucky enough to have Ashley by my side through all of my ups and downs, so Kevin, I'm uniquely well-positioned to tell you how lucky you are to have her by your side for the rest of your life. I read books to my son Jack daily. Sometimes it feels like I'm reading books all day, and a current favorite of his is Where the Wild Things Are. In that book, as I'm sure you're aware, Max imagines himself a trip in and out of weeks and almost over a year to the place where the wild things are. From what we can tell from the illustrations, the land is an adventure. He tames and rules the wild things, but soon he longs for home. And Max, the king of all wild things, wanted to be where someone loved him best of all, home. While I hadn't read Where the Wild Things Are in like 2 or 3 decades before Jack came along, the lesson is as true as an adult as it was as a child. Home is where you're loved. The door is always open, there's always a seat at the table, and you're always welcome. As I stand up here on Ashley's wedding day, surrounded by all of you wonderful people, it feels like home. And I am lucky to have grown up alongside Ashley and alongside a family of friends who make being together feel like home. Kevin, I had the time of my life growing up with Ashley, and I hope you have the time of your life growing old with her, and welcome home.